Hi. Um, I wrote something over the last couple of days that I want to share with you, and it's about speaking up in a group. And I wonder if you've ever been in a meeting and you had something to say, but you just felt really insecure about it. And you kind of wondered, should I say it? Should I not say it? And the interesting thing for me is that I don't go through that rumination anymore, but I used to. I used to all the time. And now what's happened for me is that if something shows up in my consciousness, I know it's meant to be said. And unless it comes with a yucky feeling, if it comes with a good feeling, I absolutely know it's meant to be said. And if it comes with a yucky feeling, those are the only times I question it. So I'm going to read this article to you. It's called How to Speak Up Through Insecure Thoughts. I sat in the meeting wondering if I could say what was on my mind. It seemed like a good idea, but what if they didn't like it? Or worse, what if I was stating the obvious? Or I offended someone? How would I know that what I was thinking was worth sharing? Did they really want to hear from me? Well, this has changed. Now I trust my wisdom when it shows up. I'm not saying that I no longer feel insecure. I do all of the time. What has changed is my relationship with insecurity and what I understand about insecure thoughts. Here's a quote from Sydney Banks. Your thoughts are like the artist's brush. They create a personal picture of the reality you live in. All you have to know is everything is created from thought. You don't have to know anything else. Thought is the Play-Doh that we use to create our experience in life. Thought expresses ideas, and thought creates emotion. Emotions like insecurity and imposter syndrome. They are created through the power of thought by me, not by anything outside of me. So, did I make them up, my insecure thoughts? I can see that I did and that I do. And I might be fooled into thinking that they're serving me, but I know better. Insecurity is nothing more than a formless thought, and I don't need to believe it. You can trust the wisdom inside of you. My very first insight when I came across the understanding that we call the three principles was that I have wisdom inside of me and that I can trust it to guide me in every moment of every day. I can trust myself. I didn't know that. In fact, I had taken on the belief that I couldn't trust myself. I had come to assume that every criticism I had ever received was correct, and that every course or article or book sharing advice knew more than my inner wisdom, than my inner knowing. Fortunately, somewhere under that insecure thought still lived my truth. I knew that I knew, even if others couldn't or didn't want to see that about me. And this is true about you too. We are all, every single one of us on this entire planet, born with innate wisdom. And when we listen to that wisdom, it guides us. The only thing that ever gets in the way of hearing our wisdom is our self-created thinking, the thinking that comes from our ego, the thinking that is innocently trying to protect us from shame, the thinking of insecurity, and the thinking that creates negative feelings. And when we know that the human operating system works through the Play-Doh of thought, we can see through it. We can see when thought is false. And seeing this, seeing that our self-created insecurity is just that, well, that calms us down. We no longer get caught up in the illusion of made-up thinking. And in that state of greater calm, we get better at hearing the simplicity of our wisdom, that inner voice that knows before insecure thoughts show up. Understanding ego. And so I ask myself from time to time, how do I know which voice I'm hearing right now? How do I know that I'm speaking from wisdom and not from ego? I ask myself a few questions. Does it seem like this is about me or about something bigger than me? Because I know that the ego only cares about me. It cares about me being right. It cares about me looking good. And it cares about me not feeling hurt. If I'm looking at any of those things, I must be listening to my ego. Does my chest feel angry or frustrated? It must be my ego. Because my wisdom, my truth, does not know how to feel these things. Am I feeling love, caring, even curiosity? These I know are coming from my truth and I can trust them. Like my teacher Michael Neal says, wisdom never thinks you suck. You are always on the right path, even if it doesn't feel that way in the moment. And then there are times that I feel the depth of my wisdom and I speak from the space before thought, and I'm not received the way I had hoped, and my ego experiences injury. For only ego can experience injury. Wisdom can only experience understanding. And on those days, I know that I will heal, that a force bigger than me brought me this experience, that I won't feel wounded or stupid in another day or maybe another. And I keep looking to hear my wisdom, the inner voice that is always there before my insecure thought, the voice that just pops up into my consciousness and shows me a path to take or to share, to say out loud, and I say it because I know that wisdom comes from the space before thought, and that that space holds more than I will ever understand. So, in my state of deep presence, when I let the ego and the thought created experiences drop away, I can trust my wisdom more than I can trust my ego self. And I share my wisdom created thoughts in spite of the misguided attempts of my ego to shut me up or shut me out. And lo and behold, I'm heard, and my contribution is appreciated. And my trust in that space deepens and expands to share more than I ever thought possible. Thanks for listening today. This article is published on Medium as well as being read here. You can subscribe to my channel to hear more articles as I publish them. And you can read more of my stuff on Medium at Deborah Barron. I don't know what my Medium handle is. So I guess it's something about Deborah Barron. I'm sure you can find me. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.